What's the most irresponsible pet owner you've encountered? I work at a veterinary clinic, and last month this guy walks in carrying a cardboard box that's barely held together with duct tape. Inside was this tiny golden retriever puppy, maybe 6 weeks old, covered in fleas and barely breathing. The guy's wearing designer clothes, expensive Rolex watch, and I watched him park this brand new BMW sports car right outside our front door. He plops the box on the counter like it's garbage and says his girlfriend bought the puppy as a surprise, but he's allergic and needs to get rid of it immediately. Our receptionist asks him to fill out paperwork, but he refuses, says he doesn't have time for that nonsense and just wants the dog gone. The smell coming from that box was awful, like the puppy hadn't been cleaned in weeks. Dr. Williams examines the puppy and finds it severely dehydrated, malnourished, and has worms crawling in its stool. This little guy was literally dying. The treatment would cost about $400, which honestly isn't that much for someone driving a $60,000 car. But this dude starts arguing about every single charge. Questions why the puppy needs fluids, why antibiotics cost so much, why we can't just give him some free medicine and send him on his way. Says he's not spending that kind of money on a dog he doesn't even want. Then he pulls out his phone and shows us pictures of his vacation to Hawaii from last week, bragging about the 5-star resort, the expensive dinners, the helicopter tour he took. Meanwhile, this puppy is struggling to breathe on our examination table. He asks if we'll just take the puppy off his hands for free. When we explain we're not a shelter, he gets angry and threatens to just dump the dog at the park if we won't help. Says nature will take care of the problem one way or another. Dr. Williams steps in and offers to treat the puppy for free if the guy signs over ownership papers. The guy agrees immediately, doesn't even ask what happens to the dog after that, just wants it gone so he can get back to his important day. We spend the next 3 days nursing this puppy back to health. IV fluids, antibiotics, special food, round-the-clock monitoring. I stayed late every night to check on him. The little guy was a fighter though, started gaining weight and playing with the toys we brought from home. By day 4, he was running around the clinic like he owned the place. All the staff fell in love with him. We named him Charlie because he had this mischievous personality that reminded us of Charlie Chaplin. He'd steal pens from the desk and hide under chairs. That's when the original owner shows up again, angrier than before. Apparently his girlfriend found out he gave away her surprise gift and she dumped him. Now he wants Charlie back, but only if we don't charge him for the medical treatment we provided. Dr. Williams explains that he signed legal ownership papers and the dog is no longer his property. Shows him the documents with his signature. The guy loses his mind, starts yelling about how we tricked him, how this is theft, how he'll sue us into bankruptcy. But here's where it gets really interesting. While he's screaming and waving his arms around, Charlie runs out from the back room and immediately hides behind my legs, shaking. This dog, who loves everyone and greets every visitor with tail wags, was terrified of his original owner. Dr. Williams points this out and asks the guy to explain why a 6-week-old puppy would be afraid of him. The guy gets defensive, says the dog was always skittish, probably has mental problems from bad breeding. That's when I notice something that makes my stomach turn. The guy has scratches on his hands and arms, fresh ones that look angry and red. When I ask about them, he claims Charlie scratched him, but puppies that young don't have sharp enough claws to leave marks like that. Dr. Williams examines Charlie more carefully and finds small bruises on his ribs that we missed during the initial emergency treatment. They're healing, but definitely there. This guy had been hurting a 6-week-old puppy for who knows how long. We call animal control immediately. They arrive within 20 minutes and review our medical records and the ownership transfer papers. The guy's story keeps changing about where he got the puppy and how long he had it. Turns out his girlfriend never bought the puppy at all. He'd stolen it from someone's backyard 3 towns over while the family was at work. The original family had been searching for weeks and posted flyers everywhere with a $500 reward. Animal control arrests him right there in our waiting room for theft and animal cruelty. Charlie watches from behind the reception desk as they put handcuffs on the man who hurt him. The real family comes to pick up Charlie the next day. The reunion was incredible. Their 5-year-old daughter had been crying every night since he disappeared 2 weeks earlier. She named him Buddy, and he remembered her immediately, licking her face and wagging so hard his whole body wiggled. But the story doesn't end there. 2 weeks later, the family comes back to thank us for saving Buddy's life. They ask if I'd like to visit him sometime since I helped nurse him back to health during those critical first days. 6 months later, when they had another litter, I adopted Buddy's sister Luna. Now Buddy and Luna have play dates every weekend, and that little guy who almost died is living his best life with a family who actually loves him unconditionally.